we have lived in a world functioning one way for a while, but now we're at the precipice of it being able to function another way. So on this retreat, we want to really bring you into the silence where your wisdom truly lives. And Patrick is going to be helping us with that. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think what you shared, Jeff, about, the teachers, your teachers in the Andes, for the first time being able to trying to look ahead and to sense into what's on the horizon or what's coming next and not getting anything or not really picking up on anything. The first thing that really comes to mind for me there is just this idea of potential, this
Hmm.
idea of almost like a an abyss, or this, like, in the Buddhist way of thinking of it, like the emptiness, which can be like, oh, everything's empty, everything's empty. That can feel like sort of a heavy sort of uh, you know, kind of negative concept in some way. But really, how I'm intuiting it, and I think would on this retreat we really would love to go into, is just like that voidness or that emptiness, which is so full of potential, right? That we have, that exists deep down within us. That potential to remember, that potential to awaken to what we are, that potential to allow whatever it is, our voice, our way of expression, whatever essence that is, that whatever authentic expression wants to come forth, allowing ourselves and finding ways to access that, like Maryn said, so where we can really hold that. So I feel like on this retreat, in many ways, you know, we say, for calling up change makers, or people who want to bring, their vision forward and want to express themselves and who have a voice. I think it's also very important for people who can sense and intuit and feel that they have something to give, that they know which way they want to be going, but perhaps are really overwhelmed, perhaps really like can't quite decide, because let's face it, we're so inundated with so much information these days and so many different ideas. We're being pulled here and there, and things are really ramping up for a lot of us. And it can be really hard to find our center. It can be really hard to actually align with what's important to our deep down, into our hearts, to ourselves. What's important for us, what we want to express, how we want to be, how we want to change, the type of world we want to see for the future. Right? We're being so challenged in these times, just to take our attention back and put it where it really matters, for ourselves and for others, really, and for others. So yeah, so I feel like what's important to know and important to communicate as well is that it's not necessarily, we're not only calling to folks who perhaps have a vision already, or who are perhaps already engaged in the world in some way, in some cause, and are working towards it, who may want like a boost forward, or to be, inspired. But in particular, also to the people who really know and can sense, but aren't really sure. So there's like that aspect of the darkness, that aspect of the potential, of the not knowing, of the uncertainty, which really is our nature anyway. And just to know that really this retreat, I think, can very much offer people tools and ways to uncover that, and ways to bring forth their power and to claim that, as we move forward. So yeah, so that's what I feel is important to say, you know.
That's powerful. And, I think woven into what you both just articulated so beautifully is the fact that on many different levels, and whether these are conscious efforts or part of the sort of unconscious counter-evolutionary forces that necessarily come with every point of prophecy and evolution, is that there is an affront upon human sovereignty right now. There are legions of people, and many of which are in great places of authority, that are telling us that we need external agency, that we need something from outside in order to solve the world's greatest challenges. We need external agency to connect to spirit. We need external agency to cope as biological beings on the earth. And this essence of be still and know that I am, Patrick would say, essentially at the core of that very ancient teaching, be still and know that I am, is probably the most powerful place and powerful way that human beings can come together now, Because when we come together now in this place of silence, in this place of embrace of the uncertain darkness, with the courage to take that often essential leap into the limitless, into the uncertainty, is a very powerful place. That's where the seeds of what is next can be found. It's not in the, the frenetic pace of in life that we see in the industrialized world. It's in silence, sitting in the old ways with our loved ones. That's where we will find the new sound, the new seed, the beej of the future. And that's
Mhm.
very exciting.